Barbara Gordon has worn many visual identities across comics, games, and collectibles, and these 5 statues show how much range sculptors can find inside one character. The lineup moves from J. Scott Campbell's graphic comic book elegance to Sideshow's full Batgirl-versus-Clayface battle, Prime One's video game realism, XM's samurai fantasy, and Iron Studios' compact Gotham rooftop scene. They are dramatically different displays, but each one understands that Batgirl works best when intelligence, agility, and confidence are visible in the pose. Before we begin, subscribe to Comic Book Statues and Busts, and turn on notifications for more collector-focused statue showcases. If you enjoy seeing how different studios interpret the same character, this lineup gives us one of the clearest comparisons yet. We begin with the smallest and most graphic piece in the group, McFarlane Toys and DC Direct's Batgirl by J. Scott Campbell. At approximately 1/8 scale and 10 inches tall, this statue does not try to create a huge environment. Its strength is the clean outline. Campbell's design language comes through immediately in the long lines of the figure, the stylized face, and the confident posture. The result feels like a comic cover translated into 3 dimensions without losing the economy of the original drawing. The purple, yellow, and black palette is instantly readable from across a room. The cape frames the body instead of swallowing it, while the yellow boots, gloves, belt, and chest emblem create a rhythm that carries the eye from top to bottom. There is a playful fashion quality to the pose, but it never forgets that this is a crime fighter. Batgirl appears alert, balanced, and completely comfortable in the suit. The simple base is the right decision because a complicated rooftop would have weakened the strong, poster-like silhouette. Look closely at how the sculpt handles stylization. The anatomy is deliberately elegant rather than realistic. The folds are simplified, and the facial expression carries more personality than aggression. That makes this a very approachable display for collectors who want Batgirl represented without surrendering an entire shelf. There are no switch-outs or effect pieces competing for attention. You choose this statue for one specific image, classic Batgirl filtered through Campbell's unmistakable pin-up-influenced comic art. It also acts as a useful baseline for the rest of the episode. Every statue that follows adds more scale, texture, story, or display options, but none is as immediate as this one. The hand-numbered poly-resin release is a reminder that a premium collectible does not have to be massive to preserve an artist's voice. In a mixed DC display, its bright color blocking would stand apart from the darker armor and heavy environments that dominate so many modern Batman pieces. Sideshow's Batgirl premium format figure gives Barbara Gordon the largest and most story-driven battle scene in this lineup. Limited to 2,200 pieces, the quarter-scale statue stands 21.5 inches tall, but the real visual weight comes from Clayface. This is not simply Batgirl standing on a base, it is a captured moment at the end of a fight, with Barbara elevated above a villain whose entire body has become the environment. Batgirl's body forms a strong diagonal above the villain. One boot is planted with certainty, while the other leg rises behind her, giving the pose a sense of rebound, as if she has just landed or redirected her momentum. The tattered cape hangs from one shoulder and exposes more of the dark armored suit, allowing the red hair and gold gauntlets, boots, belt, and bat emblem to establish clear focal points. Bandage-like wraps around the limbs add wear and vulnerability, while the sharp utility shapes remind us that she won this encounter with planning rather than brute force. Clayface is where the base becomes storytelling. His surface moves between wet, melting forms and hard, cracked earth. Electrified batarangs pierce the mass, and the light-up eyes, mouth, and wounds cast blue energy through the brown and orange terrain. Hidden faces of Batman, Nightwing, and Commissioner Gordon emerge from the shape-shifting muck, turning the base into a collection of Easter eggs that reward slow viewing. The lighting is not a decorative afterthought. It explains how Batgirl has interrupted Clayface's transformation. Barbara's portrait is especially important because it holds its own against such an elaborate base. The exposed red hair brings warmth and movement to the dark suit, while the cowl, direct gaze, and controlled expression keep her composed rather than overwhelmed by the action beneath her. From every major angle, the narrative remains legible. Batgirl is elevated, Clayface is destabilized, and the electrical effects connect them. The result presents Barbara as the strategist who has already solved the problem, while the villain is still struggling to understand what happened. Prime One Studios Museum Masterline Batgirl from Batman Arkham Knight moves us into a different visual world. At roughly 1/3 scale and nearly 30 inches tall with the Batclaw raised, this is the most realistic Barbara Gordon in the group. The video game design treats the suit as protective equipment. Layered purple armor, reinforced panels, gold hardware, and a sweeping cape that feels heavy enough to exist in Gotham's wind and rain. The main Batclaw configuration gives the statue a powerful vertical line. Her raised arm pulls the eye upward while the opposite hand holds a batarang closer to the body. That contrast creates tension without requiring a running or leaping pose. The alternative relaxed right arm lowers the energy and allows the portrait to become the focus. Two faces, a normal expression and a smirk, let collectors decide whether this Batgirl feels mission-ready or quietly confident. The exclusive configuration adds the regular batarang option to the mini batarang display, and those choices matter at this scale. Small changes in hand position alter the negative space around the torso and cape. The sculpted armor also benefits from close camera work. Notice the seams between panels, the subtle purple tonal changes, the gold bat emblem, the utility belt construction, and the way the material transitions from rigid protection to flexible fabric around the joints. Prime 1's polystone build is substantial, but the sculpt avoids making Batgirl look bulky. The base continues the Arkham design vocabulary with mechanical architecture and Gotham industrial texture. It supports the realistic figure without becoming a separate diorama. Most importantly, the statue captures Barbara as an experienced partner in Batman's world, not a sidekick waiting for direction. Her stance is composed, the gadgets are ready, and the cape gives her enough theatrical presence to stand beside much larger Batman characters in the museum Masterline collection. XM Studios pushes furthest away from familiar Gotham imagery with its quarter-scale Samurai series Batgirl. This is a complete reimagining. Batgirl as an armored assassin, caught in a forward leap and surrounded by display choices. The statue stands about 65 centimeters tall, but the movement spreads through the entire composition. Armor plates, straps, hair, scarf, and weapons all point in related directions, creating the feeling that the figure has entered the scene at speed. The costume merges Batgirl symbols with feudal Japanese shapes. Purple remains the identifying color, but it is broken into layered armor rather than a smooth superhero suit. Gold edges sharpen the silhouette, dark underlayers add depth, and the bat motif is distributed through the design instead of relying on one chest emblem. With the cape attached, the figure becomes broader and more heroic. Replace it with the ninja scarf, and the same body feels faster, leaner, and more dangerous. 4 portraits make this one of the most configurable Batgirl statues ever produced. The classic eye mask keeps the character closest to comic tradition. The modern full helmet pushes her toward a futuristic warrior. The cyber ninja mask feels tactical, while the Oni mask turns the display into something deliberately intimidating. 2 right arms and 3 left arms expand the combinations further, allowing the collector to tune both the weapon language and the emotional tone without changing the central leap. What makes the piece work is that the options are not random accessories. Every component belongs to the same alternate universe. Christopher Cow's sculpt keeps the anatomy readable beneath the armor, while XM Studios and Studio Hive's design builds a coherent culture around the Bat family identity. With an addition of 500, it was positioned as a major centerpiece, and the complexity still justifies that role. It is not the Batgirl most collectors know first, but it may be the one that keeps revealing the most over time. Iron Studios closes the lineup with a completely different kind of scene. This 1/10th scale Batgirl sits relaxed on a concrete Griffon gargoyle high above Gotham, grapnel gun in hand. The statue is only a little over 10 inches tall, yet it creates a specific location more effectively than many larger pieces. The stone creature, the small bat emblem, and Barbara's sideways glance make the display feel like a quiet pause between patrols. Her costume blends classic and modern elements. Gray fabric covers the body, black defines the cowl and outer cape, and the bright yellow lining, boots, belt, gloves, and emblem provide the unmistakable Batgirl signature. The red hair introduces another warm color and gives the portrait an immediate focal point. Because she is seated, the cape can fold around the body in broad graphic shapes, creating depth without requiring a large footprint. The grapnel gun is a smart accessory because it keeps the relaxed pose connected to action. Barbara may be sitting, but she is not off-duty. One moment later, she could launch across the skyline. The Griffin base also gives the sculptors several surfaces to contrast: smoother costume sections, strands of hair, crisp armor edges, and rough, weathered concrete. Camera moves across the base will reveal more storytelling than the statue's compact size initially suggests. This is the most shelf-friendly diorama in the episode, and perhaps the easiest to integrate into a broader Batman collection. There are no portrait swaps or arm options to store, and the hand-painted polystone composition presents one finished point of view. It captures the intelligence and ease that define Barbara Gordon. She owns the rooftop, she is watching the city, and she looks entirely at home in the shadow of the bat. Together, these 5 statues show why Barbara Gordon remains such fertile ground for sculptors. McFarlane and J. Scott Campbell deliver pure comic art elegance. Sideshow gives her a light-up battle with Clayface. Prime 1 builds the armored realism of Arkham Knight. XM reinvents the symbol through samurai fantasy, and Iron Studios finds character in a quiet Gotham rooftop moment. Which version belongs in your collection? The classic purple cover girl design, Barbara's electrified victory over Clayface, the Arkham armor, the samurai warrior, or the quiet rooftop scene on the gargoyle? Share your pick in the comments and subscribe to Comic Book Statues and Busts for more statue showcases, comparisons, and collector-focused production every week.